Hey guys, Jonathan Christian with Florida Turf Pros. In part one, I had done a video on the basic lawn care setup that I use to keep costs to a bare minimum while earning a good revenue for year one. And this is part two to that video, and it's going to discuss the marketing strategy that I used to generate that revenue. It was a four-pronged marketing strategy that I used to keep costs down while also it proved to be very, very effective. So the first thing and the most I think it's the most important thing, but they all tie in together. Uh, the first was a website. So in the fall of 2015, I contacted a web designer. I told him what our needs were, that we needed to be ranking on page one of Google, and I had a $1,500 budget to get this done. I said, "Can you do it?" He said yes. I said, "I need to see proof that you've done this before." He showed me proof, and I felt good about it. I invested the money with him, and he did exactly what he said he was going to do. He got us on page one of Google by the spring of 2016, and that proved to be kind of the catalyst that supported everything else in our marketing strategy. So the first thing, website. Okay, you have to have that. Okay, and nowadays it has to be optimized mobily. Don't try and do this yourself. You need to have this thing professionally done and optimized for mobile searches, because that's what Google and all the other search engines are going to, is mobile optimization. Okay, so get that done and as early as possible so you can hit those rushes, particularly in the spring season. Okay, now while the website was great for us, the thing that it did not do was build route density. So what I mean is, we may have gotten a lead from the website in neighborhood A up here in our town, and then we'd get another lead from neighborhood B down here in our town, and so you'd kind of be spaced all over town with these leads from your website, which is great. You're getting in these neighborhoods, but it doesn't build route density. So the second thing was route density through postcards. We used a direct response style postcard that had a great offer on it and a very, very strong call to action with a deadline, and it proved to be a very, very effective postcard. So what we did was, is once we got into a neighborhood with our website, for example, we get into neighborhood A, then we would take postcards and saturate that neighborhood 2 or 3 times over. We would do that in neighborhood B. I wouldn't just put postcards out in just random neighborhoods. I wanted to build route density in the neighborhoods that we were already in. So our strategy was get into the neighborhood with the website, and then saturate the neighborhood with postcards to build route density. Man, I put these things out myself. It was a pain. It sucked. It sucked really bad. I'm not going to lie. Walking around putting these things out, I was embarrassed. I hated knocking on doors. I actually did some door knocking, and it was so embarrassing, man. It was terrible. But eventually, you kind of just overcome that crap, and you'll get the door slammed in your face a million times. But then you might get one or two yeses, and then you just have this energy to keep going for the rest of the day. I mean, I had my wife out there. She's out there. This cute little thing. I mean, she's out there putting out these postcards. My kid, I got my 5-year-old kid out there with his 3-year-old sister. They got their bikes riding with their wagon behind their bike, putting out these postcards in these neighborhoods. I'm telling you, dude, we look like total ragtag misfits. This is the ridiculous looking family out there, but I tell you, it worked. It really built us some good route density. So that was the second thing. The third thing that we did was Facebook groups, particularly closed Facebook groups. I was not a fan really of advertising and paying for advertising through Facebook. I just don't know if the market research is there to support dumping a ton of money into something that's not proven. I just don't understand it quite yet. I haven't done enough research on it to feel good about investing in it. So I decided to kind of go the free route, but I chose a strategy that actually it proved to be very, very effective. So what I did was, I realized that our neighborhood that we live in has a closed Facebook group. And instead of marketing blindly and blatantly to our Facebook group and just saying, "Hey, we got a lawn care business, let us cut your grass because we're awesome," that type of thing, what I did was I distributed a free advice and content through the Facebook group. So I might have wrote a little article on 5 tips or things to consider when hiring a lawn care service. Listed them out, put it into our Facebook group, and people really found that helpful. Whether it was things like how to set your sprinkler system for the spring or the summer in our area, how to cut your grass, how often, those types of things. So it was just free content that I was putting out, as it was hidden, I guess, kind of like as valuable information, which it was to these people, but it also it was a way of free advertising for us. And it wasn't threatening advertising. It was not blatant advertising. It was kind of just a sneaky little way to get in front of people, and it really, really worked. So not only did I do that for my neighborhood, but I said, hey, I have friends and family who live in other neighborhoods around the area. I'm sure they have closed Facebook groups as well. And people are always asking on those, hey, who do you have for lawn service? Who do you recommend for lawn service? And I got my friends and family to distribute that content, the free content, on their neighborhood's Facebook group, and it really, really worked. It was free advertising through Facebook, and it was a gold mine. It was like a little nugget, because it's like, I was like, man, you can pay for Facebook advertising, or you can get in these little closed groups, and it is like, not only is it great word of mouth and referrals from people who you want to be doing business with, but it's building route density in these neighborhoods that you're already in, and it's great. So that was the third thing we did, was close Facebook groups. That was awesome. Definitely recommend that. And the fourth thing was word of mouth slash referrals and Google reviews. So I'm gonna kind of all lump that in together. But I had friends and family leave us Google reviews. They were legitimate Google reviews for work that we had performed for them, and then my clients, who I knew were super happy with our work, I just asked them, would you mind leaving us a Google review? It would mean a lot. I'm trying to grow the business, and they were more than happy to do so. I got a lot of people that just never did it, but then I had enough people that did it to give us about 15 or 16 Google reviews. And as long as the competitors in my area have been around, there's been companies that have been around for 15 years, have, big businesses. We have more 5-star reviews on Google than they do, and we received a ton of calls from the Google business listings because we had our reviews up. So way more than they did. I guess it's just not important to them, because they just kind of been an operation that just been around forever. But if you're aggressive with getting your reviews, you can really, really make some good money and get up there pretty quick. So that was the 4 things that we did, guys. You can't be afraid to spend a little bit of money, especially in the beginning. It's going to cost money to grow the business. You cannot rely just on word of mouth if you want to make good money and money and generate revenue quickly. Let me leave you with this thought. If it costs you $1,500 to build a website, that website, it's going to get you 20 clients, 30 clients over the course of a year. A client will be worth $1,200 to you. I mean, that's what mine is worth to me on average over a year. A website costs $1,500. One client's worth $1,200. I get 20 or 30 clients from the website. How many times had that website paid for itself? It paid for itself over and over. It's not that you can't afford a website. You cannot afford not to have a website. You are literally giving away $40,000 in revenue, possibly, from not having a website. It's just money you're not getting because you would not spend $1,500. It's an investment, and it is the best investment you'll ever make. You can't go to the stock market or real estate and invest $2,000 and then get a $40,000 back. But with marketing, you can, and that's the beauty of it. You have to be willing to spend a little much. Postcards, little much. You have to be willing to spend a little bit to make a lot of money. Postcards are the same way. Let's say you have a budget for $500 for your postcards or $1,000 for your postcards. If you distribute 5,000 of these, it costs you $500. I mean, what do you think one client's worth to you? Okay, if you get 2 or 3 or 4 clients, how many times has that $500 investment in those postcards paid for itself? It pays for itself many, many times over. So those were the 2 things that cost money, was the website and then the postcards. and then the closed Facebook groups and the Google business listing reviews, those are free. But they all work together to really kind of catapult us and kind of help our growth exponentially. I know that that's not a huge number. 70,000 is not a huge number, but I think when you're starting from scratch, uh, that's good. I mean, that's really good for year one from starting from scratch, in my opinion. Okay, I have plans to do a lot better than that in the future. Got a lot of good things in the works for 2017, but that was the four-pronged, cost-effective marketing strategy that I used to keep costs down and also uh, generate some good revenue. It proved to be very, very effective. Try and implement it for your business if you're new, and if you haven't done much marketing, give that a try, because I'm telling you, it's a great way to keep your costs down, and it'll really, really grow your business if you put the effort in. It's not going to be uh, painless. You're going to have to do some work with it, but it's worth it. Take it from me, it's absolutely worth it. Okay. Good luck. Happy New Year to everybody, and good luck in 2017. Be blessed.